I have no idea. I just got a text from Carol's wife. She wasn't feeling very well. And so I was taking on the class. The problem with that, I don't have the book and I don't have any of the assignments. So we are all here together and I have, other than I know what the 3 videos we watched are, I don't know what the conversation is. I mean, I don't know what the questions are is what I mean to say. So this is going to be an hour of winging it. So, so everybody seems to be here. Anne is new. She was on vacation last week. She's here this time. And so let me ask, did everybody get to watch the videos?
Yep.
Okay, good. So that's, as you guys already know, that's ultimately the bulk of the class is you watch the videos and his content is the bulk of the content. Then we come back as a group and we just visit and talk about it and then explore it deeper. And again, I literally 5 minutes ago, I logged on to see what the videos were so that I could know what the topics were. And so we're gonna literally wing it, so bear with me. So the first thing, so how to stay in contact. That was all about staying in contact with your clients, staying with them on a regular basis. Now, the thing about staying in contact with your clients at this stage, it's really like, it's quality and consistency. It's calling them, it's doing a mass, it's doing mailers, it's just staying in touch. Sorry, I'm letting people in. Staying in touch with your people as you can. Here comes Nolan. Hey, Nolan. So do any of you, I guess I want to know right now, do any of you have a mailer going out on a routine basis yet? Have you started doing that? Okay.
No.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. And then it really, again, I'm totally winging it because I don't have this book, so I don't know what she's supposed to be talking about. So right now, when you're brand new, it's really establishing your databases. I guess from our last meeting, you should have been hopefully using the referral maker, at least starting to log your clients into the referral maker. And then once you do use the referral maker, you're able to stay in touch with your clients on a much more regular basis. Have you all got, is there anybody that doesn't have access to the referral maker? Doesn't mean you haven't accessed it, but you all are able to get into it. Okay. The referral
Yes.
maker,
Can I ask a question about it?
bring it on.
So I have all of I started my database just on a Google sheet. And with referral maker, is that something that we will always have, or is that something that you pay for after this class? I was just wondering if it's worth me transferring everything or if I should just go with what I have on my Excel.
Oh, I understand totally. So there's the official answer, and then Carol's not here, so she doesn't have to hear the answer they want me to give. I will tell you, I always used a Google spreadsheet up until just recently, because I used the Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet because I was able to manipulate it and I was able to use it and in all the ways I possibly could. And I'm going to go back to that in just a second. But for the purposes of this class, they want you to use the referral maker so that you get used to it. But when this class is over, you won't still have access to it. I think you'll have access to it for maybe like 90 days or something like that. But it's cheap. So if you really like it, if you got into Buffini's coaching, then it just comes with anything they do. If you got into their regular mail system, then it also comes in, it goes along with that. But other than that, I think most people pay like $20 a month or maybe even less than that. And I will say, of all the CRMs out there, Referral Maker just happens to be one of the absolute best because it organizes your clients. So, but as far as the spreadsheet, I always use a Google spreadsheet or Excel, whatever. I liked it. I could manipulate it. I could easily put my A pluses at the top or my A's. I could see if I did a pop by or a note, I could add it really quick. For me, it was very quick at a glance. So I don't blame you. So if you want to keep using your Google spreadsheet, go for it. So
thank you.
has anybody else really dove into the Referral Maker and have any questions on it or any advice on Referral Maker?
Hey, Tim, when I was watching the last class, you know how you were having me catch up on those first few classes. Someone in that class had brought up that there was an easy way to import your spreadsheet. I don't remember who it was or how they did it, but if you happen to have the instructions on how to do that, that
Sure.
might be worth doing it. Maybe if, you know, if it
Talking about
was.
taking like a Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet and then putting it into the Buffini CRM.
Mhm.
It's actually really simple. If you go into Buffini, you hit import, and then it'll ask you for a CVS file or an Excel file, and it just uploads it.
Okay, so I was wondering that. It did say CVS, and I know mine was an Excel sheet, so I wasn't sure if it would work with that. So I did see that in one of those videos that it said to be that. So
But then what you'll want to do, and this is not coming from a techie person because I'm far from it, is you'll want to save that document as a .cvs file.
Okay.
And then upload it as and you'll find it's pretty easy, but it's gonna take you a couple of times because you'll want to make sure that your Excel file is labeled correctly, like first name, last name, address. If you don't have it all lined up correctly, then when it goes in the Buffini system, all the categories can be wrong.
Okay.
So just, you might want to.
I don't have that many. It might just be worth it retyping it, but
Yeah, maybe.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
just good to know. Thank you.
Well, so this is a good time to talk about our CRM because the CRM, which again you have as part of this class, it's such a basic part of staying in front and in touch with your clients, because it's easy to get behind the ball and forget and not know who you took care of, or time gets away from us, and before you know it, it's been 6 months or a year, and it only feels like it's been 2 months. So the CRM is, whatever CRM you use, it's imperative that you use one and you stay on top of it. Has anybody else got any experience with this CRM or any other ones that they've had good experience with? No? Okay. By all means, I don't have a lot to talk about, so I need you guys all to chime in. So e-reports, that's the other thing, at least for now, while you're using the Buffini CRM, is to use the e-reports and send them out every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so on. That's, again, it's a very good way of staying in contact with your clients, and it's automated. The e-reports, I love those, and you can customize them. You can do all sorts of things with the e-reports. And even if it's not the Buffini e-report, even if you use our company Zap or any other CRM where you do a drip campaign to your clients, just staying on top of it. The whole point of this contact is quality and consistency. Staying in front of your clients on a regular basis. The last thing you want to hear from your clients is, "Oh, are you still in real estate?" The bare minimum is they should at least be getting your emails or your drip campaigns or whatever it is. Then we went on to the caring for your clients. That's where we got into the notes, the pop buys, and the referral network. That's a really good one. So again, I know you guys have a variety of experience here in the room, but how many have you started to? Oh, I see. This is why I'm not Carol, because I don't know. She calls on people randomly, which I might have to start doing. So bear with me. Well, Dana, and I know you already spoke a moment ago, but you have been tailing Jean Main for a while now. Has she been doing any pop buys? No, I lost her on the spot too.
Well, I've seen them at her house, but I haven't been with her to take them. But I do have another agent that I'm friends with that she frequently does pop buys, and she said that Buffini's extremely helpful with that because the CRM is helpful because she has all of her addresses in there, and it literally like tells her when she's near one of her clients, so she can just get the address quickly, and just it gives her the directions, and she doesn't have to look for it in her phone, and it just makes it really easy to drop by when you're in that area or neighborhood or whatever. So totally. I do know that. Yeah. So that's about all I know about it.
That's a really cool feature. Yeah. So if you have the app on your phone, and you can just be like, "Oh, I'm bored right now," and you can click a button and it can tell you who your closest clients are, so you can pop by their homes. Well, so Popeyes. Popeyes are something that Brian Buffini talks about on a regular basis. They, for some people, are the hardest thing to do, but the reality is they have the biggest impact. When you can pop by a client or a friend's or somebody's home or their office just for a moment and deliver them a quick item of value, the impact is absolutely huge. And we see this in a variety of manner. I mean, we see this with people, insurance agents do it, all sorts of people do it. But popping by your client's house on a regular basis is so important. Tracy Fausch, you've been in the business now for a little bit. Have you been exploring pop buys at all?
I have, yeah. In fact, when I first started, I went around to my neighborhood and put together like a little doggy treat bag with my card and a little, not the welcome letter that that we got to send out to everybody originally from Better Homes, but I just did a little one on my own and just made it real small and put it in the bag with the dog treats. And so I did that, and then I've done the cups, the coffee cups, and the water bottles that we just got not too long ago. So I've done a few, but I haven't been consistent. That's my biggest issue, I think, with it.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. It's always about consistency. But by the way, again, that's why the win the day formula, which we have not gotten to yet, but the win the day formula, it takes the pressure off your back when you don't get to it's hard to hit 100% all the time. But Tracy, do you have any good experiences? Like, did you ever have any pop by where you and the person got to connect for 15 minutes and it was just a great experience?
I mean, yeah, there's been mostly people, I guess, when they're not at home, because a lot of people, well, except with the exception of this last year, but yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of times when I've just been able to, step in and have a nice little conversation with them, just make sure everything's going good, and if they had any questions or concerns, and of course, asked for referrals if they knew anyone coming up or in the future. Just keep it front of mind.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Popeyes really are one of the most powerful thing you can do in this industry. It's just popping by somebody's home, popping by their work. I will say popping by their work is often a really good one because you're in and out pretty quickly. You don't want to bother them. You don't want to take a lot of their time. If you pop by somebody's work and you leave a gift behind, usually if it's something special, they talk about their coworkers might say, "Oh, what was that?" But I like popping by people's homes. I'm sorry, work. Popping by their home is also really good. Buffini always tries to get you to call ahead, make sure they're home, but sometimes it's kind of hard to do. It's logistically kind of hard to do. We've regionally kind of adapted, dropping them off at the doorstep and running away as fast as you possibly can, which is my way of doing it. But honestly, whenever you can have a good face-to-face pop by with a client for just a moment, it's wildly impactful. Typically, what I do when I'm doing pop bys is I park in the driveway, which is the only time I park in the driveway. I never, when I'm visiting a client, I never park in their driveway. And I leave the door open and I leave my car running. And the reason I do that is because then I can't go inside the house. If I happen to visit with them for just a moment, we can exchange, we can visit for a couple of minutes, but I don't want to go inside the house. Once I go inside the house, the game changes. It takes longer. Yeah, it's a great relationship builder. But then it unfortunately is I'm less likely to do as many pop buys because they're taking too much of my time. The whole point about a pop by is it's supposed to be quick. It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be leaving them a quick item of value and then getting out the door. Nicole just joined us. Hello, Nicole. Hey, we're talking about pop buys at the moment. Have you gotten into pop buys yet in your area or in your job?
So my child's coming crying. It's okay. Oh, so sorry, guys.
We can come back to you. No, I get it. It has anybody.
We just got a puppy from Muddy Paws Rescue, and Emmy is about to lose his mind because he's scared of him. He's so cute though. So sorry about that. So I did make, so I have a list. I need to get more into Referral Maker just because I'm looking forward to like the A, B, C, D, like I'm looking forward to that level of clients, but I don't have a ton of clients anyways. So I have done pop buys. I try to do them every other month, just like that's what I've tried to do to be consistent, but I would like to get into doing them every month. I really like holidays. Like I'm a holiday person. So where I try to like find like really fun, like National Mimosa Day. I'm so mad I missed that. I would have been leaving mimosas on everybody's doorstep, but maybe that's not a good idea if they don't drink. I don't know. But anyways, I have had good luck with it. I haven't really like gained anything from it that I know of, but I've had people reach out and just be like really grateful. So that felt good. Like at least it served its purpose in that way. I do want to do my neighborhood. So like I like what you did, Tracy. That's super cute. Like I really would love to like do something. I don't have a huge neighborhood, so it would be doable. I just haven't figured out exactly what I want. I wanted to do May Day baskets, but that didn't happen. So I'm on to the next thought.
It's really hard, Nicole. You can't, there's so many holidays, the time goes by pretty quickly. The reality is every time the season comes up, you want to choose all of your A pluses or A's and you want to pop by all their homes, but you can't. So but the best thing to do is to choose, like, I'm going to pop by these 10 people this month. I'm going to pop by these 10 people the next month. And the item might be different. The whole purpose is going to be different, but it's slow and consistent. You're never going to hit it out of the park and pop by all of your clients in any one single routine or season or month or year. It's just never going to happen. So you just have to just bite off every little piece you possibly can. And also you only want to pop by people if it's going to be impactful. There's no reason to just do it for the sake of doing it. Otherwise you could hire somebody else to drop things off other people's doorsteps for you. It has to be true. It has to be impactful. So I'm glad you've had some experience with the pop buys. Has anybody else, I know the majority of you are all brand new into this business, but anybody else, Nolan, have you had any experience with pop buys yet?
Well, I now that I have some clients, I'm excited to drop stuff off at their doors. I bought those ice cream coupons that our brokerage is doing.
Yep.
So I'm excited to have them attach my business cards to them because I'm not very crafty. So, but I will look forward to dropping them off at people's doors.
Good. You know, that's really good. You know, and another very popular thing is called a reverse pop buy. And that is something you're going to hear more and more of. Reverse pop buys it's the same concept. It's a face-to-face. It's giving your client a gift of some sort, but having them come to you. Thanksgiving has been the biggest one. What we do as a brokerage, but everybody's invited to do it, is to give away pies for Thanksgiving. Basically, we go to Costco, we get pumpkin or apple pie or pecan pies, whatever. You send this invitation out to all your clients. You know how many in advance are going to want the pie. And then they come into the office. And we do this at all of our offices. So it doesn't matter which office you're at. We have a little party. And then the clients come in. Of course, this is pre-COVID. We still did this during COVID, but it just became a drive-through. The pie giveaway, honestly, guys, is one of the best things you could ever do. First of all, you're going to send an invitation out to anybody and everybody you want to or know. You know you're only going to get 10 to 20% of them actually take you up on it. You're looking at spending $8 to $10 a pie. So you're talking to maybe $150, $200, maybe $300. People have come to you to get their pie. They're extraordinarily thankful. It's one of the most impactful gifts you could possibly give. And the reason I know it's just a pie, but it's become wildly popular for a reason. And so like what I'm doing next month is I'm doing something similar at eCreamery, where my team is putting together, come get your ice cream, but I'm going to hang out there for 3 hours while my clients come and I'm going to be able to mingle with them. It's a reverse pop buy. It's an ice cream party. They come to eCreamery. I shake their hand. Hopefully they get to have ice cream. We get a visit for a few moments. They leave and I pay the bill. And that's another really good kind of reverse pop buy. So, has anybody else have any experience? Oh yeah, Julia, please bring it on.
I have more of a question. So I have no clients yet really. But in working with my mentor in the last month or so, I've been creating kind of a plan of how to access my database. And so, like I just decided to focus in on my teacher friends and colleagues first, and came up with a list of like 200. So I only picked like 100 of them, and I put them in like 4 different tiers. So like my top tier is about 15 people, and I made like a little self-care gift basket basically, and a handwritten card and my business card and that sort of thing that I'm going to drop by at their doorstep next week. And then my second tier has like a little something I'm sending them in the mail. And then third and fourth tiers are just like handwritten cards. So I'm starting with that, just one part of my database, but I don't know, like I don't want to be like, these are just things I would love to do anyway, which is nice. So if nothing comes of it, then great. I spoiled some teachers who Lord knows deserve it after this crazy year. But I wasn't sure, since everything in here is kind of talking about your clients, just any thoughts you have, with that.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that actually gives us some real direction to talk about for this class. That is talking about your database. And our database is, the reality is you want to look at your database as a list of relationships. They're not, we say, and you've heard, I have unfortunately said list of clients, whatever. Your database is not necessarily a list of clients. So I've sold thousands of homes in my career. My database is 319 people. The majority of my A pluses, the reason it's only 319 people is that's about as many people as I can have a relationship with. These are people that I know, I like, I trust, and they like me back. I am not looking for just a list of names. And now when you're brand new, yeah, you're looking for a list of names, and this is your database. These are the people that you know, and it's going to be refined. Your database is constantly being refined, always. Always. That's the reason it's perfectly good to have it in a Google spreadsheet or Excel spreadsheet, because it makes it easier for you to get to and make your changes as quick as possible. The reality, a real database is going to change every day. Not only are you going to raise an A to an A plus or down to a C, but people come and go. So when you're brand new in the business, well, let's refine who A pluses, A, B, C's, and D's are, even though I know we've talked about it. We'll talk about it in a minute again. And then we'll talk about how you as new agents can start filtering people into your database. A pluses are A pluses, also known as advocates. Those are the people where, as you get more experienced, that those are your walking, talking billboards. Those are the people that that if they're out in the world, you can trust that if they hear somebody saying, I'm looking for a realtor, they're going to say, oh my God, you got to call this person. They are your advocates. That's your A pluses. When you get going, that really means those are the people that have referred you on a regular basis. You just know they are. Again, at your stage, maybe they haven't referred you multiple times yet, but maybe you don't have any A pluses yet. Well, you still have advocates. Your advocates, your A pluses, are going to be maybe your spouse or your sister or your mom or somebody who you just know is going to refer you if they can. So for now, that's who you're going to treat as your A pluses. Your A's are the people that are just below that. Those are the people that are very close to you. The reality is A's are people that haven't referred you yet, but you want them to refer you. You know that they would refer you given the opportunity and if they knew how to refer you. So your A's are always hoping to graduate to A pluses. Your B's, those are the people that you just know, and you know that you know them, you like them, you don't necessarily feel comfortable enough with them to ask them for a referral, but at the same time, you know that maybe it's a past client that you had a good deal with, maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's somebody who you think you could graduate up to an A or B. And then C, that's just your database. Those are the people that you don't necessarily have a close relationship with, but you at least want them to be on your list. So if you're going to do a mailer, if you're going to farm your neighborhood, that would be a C. If you're going to, all these past coworkers, maybe that's a C. Somebody who you don't necessarily want to call. So then going back to being brand new, you just have to create that list. You have to fake it till you make it, create that list, knowing that it's going to change, and then knowing you're going to graduate people up or you're going to graduate people off. At your stage in the game, you should be looking at your database every single day. Every single day. And also if you have it in front of you, you can move them up, you can move them down. You can say, oh, I left a message for this person, I did a pop by for this person, and you just work it and work it and work it. So going back to my 319 people, I would tell you at least 30 or 40 of those people in my A pluses, A's and B's, I've never sold a home to. My mother-in-law, she's my A plus, one of my 19 A pluses. She bought her house in 1962 before I was born. She's going to die in that house. She's never going to be a client, but she refers me all the time. So they don't have to be clients. Same thing goes with, you might develop a relationship with somebody and they might have a brother or a sister's in the business, or a mom or whatever. And you're like, oh, I don't want to develop a relationship with them because they're going to refer their business to them. You don't know that their sibling or their family member or their close friend is even asking for the referrals or wants the referrals. I have sold many homes where my buyer or my seller at the closing table or whatever would tell me that, oh, do you know such and such as a realtor? Oh yeah, that's my mom, or oh, that's my sister. And I'll be like, why are you calling me? Well, I don't want to do business with family. Or I don't want my family to know my business. There's a variety of reasons. I'm not trying to advocate stealing somebody's clients, of course. I'm just saying never assume that somebody already has a relationship with somebody else. I have one of my A plus clients, his mother and his cousin are both realtors in our market. And if he were to buy or sell, he would have to use his mom, but he refers me. So just kind of keep that in mind. So your database, is anybody else struggling? Do you have any questions about qualifying your database? Speak now, because I don't have a lot to talk about, really.
Well, I'll just say that, Julia, I've kind of had the same thought as you've had, and I have a list right now of around 150 people. I did upload it into Referral Maker and started rating them. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking kind of my top people and I'm splitting them into 3 groups, and then I'm rotating them. So like every 3 months, I will have some like a pop by with them. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of in the same boat. I have a couple of clients that I am actively working with, but the rest of the people are just people that I know. So I feel like you're on the right track, or at least that's what I'm doing too.
So I do not have a list of 150 people that I feel like I know, or, I just don't have that big of a list. So like what I was trying to do was so I picked up Sweet Magnolias, dropped it off at my kids' daycare. So like that was like one thing. So or a couple of restaurants that we really like where we go a lot. I want to try to start doing pop buys with them. So I don't know how to I don't have those people's individual emails or addresses or anything to I want to do those pop buys like the daycare I do. So that's why that was made sense to me. But there's a lot of places that I want to, but then I don't have any way to follow back up with them again. I would literally it would have to be an overall pop buy of the business. So how do you, or even people that I know, how do you ask people for their address or their email? That feels kind of random if there's no purpose in doing it.
Does anybody else have an answer before I do?
Well, I actually went out and started Googling them and trying to find out their addresses and emails without actually asking them for them. Because I came up with a list of about 150 people that were my friends or, connections or something. And I realized in this day and age, I had nobody's addresses. I mean, you just don't anymore. I mean, you have emails and you have phone numbers, mainly phone numbers. And so I had to go out and started Googling. Most of them you can get at least an address. The email's a little harder, but most of these are mailers, so we're needing their physical address anyhow. And if you're going to do a pop by, you need a physical address. So that's how I did it.
Well, and I thought I could look on the assessor site, but I was like, is that super creepy if you just randomly get something to your house in the mail from me and you had no idea how I got your address or how I found out where you live? Like, I didn't know if that would feel creepy.
I first found your address on DC Assessor, I think. It's our friend as realtors. Don't worry. Yeah. And it might be creepy, but it's not like stalking. And if they took the time to find out how, I think it's more impressive than creepy.
Well, and you could have, for all they know, you could have bought a list and their name happened to be on it. They don't know that you purposely went out there and looked on the assessor's, office or whatever. So, and mailer like we're sending to me is not creepy.
Well, and I like mailer better than I like email. I know I probably need their email at some point, but like when I got my card in the mail from you, Tim, and then Brenna also sent me a card, I was like, oh, this is the sweetest thing ever. Like, I was so happy that I was getting like real mail, not just bills or something.
No, I don't think it's creepy.
I would love to speak on that because I did start looking on DC Assessor, and then what I was finding is I was really not finding all of the people I wanted to find. I tried like 5 and they were all out because I'm assuming the homes were maybe in their husband's name at all or whatever. So I just like, normally I don't like to ask people for that stuff, but I just reached out and asked in a sweet, simple way and just kind of was short and to the point and said, I'm, growing my new business from the ground up and I would love to send you some stuff every once in a while. If you're willing, I'd love to have your address. Thanks so much, smiley face. And I was shocked at how many people just, oh my gosh, absolutely, and sent it right back. So it kind of got me over the fear of that. And then on the counter side, if someone just ghosted me and didn't respond, then off my database.
Yep.
So
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I did with my people. And I don't have a huge group either, but I just actually this weekend sent out 65, like my announcements and cards, but I left a space on my announcement to write a personal note to each person. Cause each person, of course, I have a different connection with, but anyway, I had to do a lot of that too. I just texted people. I was like, hey, can I have your mailing address, please? Thanks. And everybody, I don't think there was one person who didn't send it to me. A couple asked why. And if you know my personality, I'm kind of a smart ass. So one friend, I told him I was sending a stripper to his house. But I have that relationship with him. So, I can be that way. But, and I've actually done I've gone on Zillow because I know roughly where people live. So I start hitting houses and of course it pulls up their names and stuff on there. So sometimes I've had to do that. Or not Zillow, HomeSnap. That's what it is. Cause you can get who lives there. So I've used HomeSnap a couple times.
You scared me for a moment. I'm like, Zillow knows your names? Well, of course they know.
HomeSnap, sorry. But because I know roughly where they live. And so I know it's within a 5-house radius or whatever. And I just start clicking. And so it's, yeah.
You know what the two of you, both Julia and Jackie both just said? You just said, which was the truth, that you can really just reach out to them and ask them. But they both didn't just say yes in your cases. They said it very excitedly. They were both like, oh yes, I'd happy to. Think about that when you say to them, can you do me a favor? I'm trying to get my business off the ground. When you know anybody looking to buy or sell, would you please refer me? They're going to give you that same reaction. And you want them to do that. So it really all boils down to what you already did. You figured out a comfortable way of saying, can I get your address in whatever unique ways it worked for you? Now you just need to turn that, can I get your referrals? That's what this is all about. So
one thing I did too, and I'm going to do it again, is, if you're texting somebody that you're a little bit closer with and asking for their address, ask them if they have 2 or 3 friends that they feel that you could be connected with as well.
Totally. Yeah.
I also did like a giveaway on my business Instagram. So I put together just like some local, I spent like $25 and put together a basket of like local items and asked for emails and then like had them tag friends. And then if those friends gave me emails or any information, then they all got put into a drawing for my giveaway. And I was pretty successful with that too.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
like
it's
that
not that
idea.
hard. And for anybody, if you're like uncomfortable with asking for that, all you have to say is, I'm just getting my real estate business up and off the ground, and I would love for you to receive my newsletter or my email newsletter. They're not going to say no. Even if they don't like you, maybe they'll spam you later, but they're not going to say no. They're going to give it to you, and they're going to want to support you. These are the people that want to support you and they want to help you. You're not necessarily talking out to pure strangers. So, yeah. Has anybody else had any good experience with this so far? Anybody else have anything to chime in? How about personal notes? Personal notes are a big deal.
I have something.
Yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
One of the things I'm having a hard time with is starting a conversation, like a personal note, with someone I haven't talked to in a while, without coming off kind of pushy or like a salesperson. I don't know. Met with my mentor Julie today, and she said one of the good ideas she had was look and see if maybe they had a birthday recently, or there's one coming up, and you could start it that way. I'm just having trouble starting the note without, I don't know, telling
Use
them I'm a
Facebook or
realtor.
Instagram, you know, and just like scroll through their Instagram and see what they've been up to, and then just maybe say, oh, I just saw that you went on a vacation. I hope it was fun. Blah, blah, blah.
Before I chime in,
About that before. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. Julie.
I heard someone, I think it was, I don't know, it was on an ATA, I think one time, but like just when you're looking through through your Facebook and you see like someone had a baby or they got engaged or
Mhm.
whatever random life happened, just like that is a way for you to like, that's a personal note you can send just randomly. So I've tried to do that where I'm just like, okay, like just send a random congratulations. People I haven't, like just high school friends that I haven't talked to in years. So I have done that because that was an easy reason for me to send a note, because I felt the same way. I'm like, this person I haven't talked to in 20 years, I'm going to come off as a salesperson just randomly sending them something now. So when I heard that, that's what I started doing when I was just like scrolling through my feed.
I think that's great. Does
I
anybody else have anything to chime in on personal notes?
Well, I've had, so my realtor before I got licensed, I'll never forget, he sent me a note one time. I was just going through like a hard time, and he sent me a note, just to like very uplifting and supportive. And I literally still have that note on my refrigerator because it meant so much to me. And so I have started doing that to some of my friends as well. If I know that they're going through something, just to send them a note, to support them. And it's not like I'm not trying to push myself as a realtor. It's just like, I want you to know that I'm there for you and that I know that you're going through a hard time. And I thought that that meant a lot to me anyway. So hopefully it's meaning a lot to the people that I've done that for.
That's beautiful. I love it. And that you also, when you have a situation like that, you decide whether or not you're going to put your business card in it or not. And so, because I mean, you might. The note
I didn't, but
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I wanted it to seem more genuine than anything, so I chose not to put my business card in those that I sent out.
My opinion is, when in doubt, don't do it. If you're not sure, leave it out, because the impact is still going to be good. They know who you are. They know who you are. You know, personal notes are my strong point. I got into personal notes before I even knew who Brian Buffini was. I found them very easy to write. Now, to your point, Marcus, I understand, because you just like, who do I write? What do I need to write about? They don't have to be hard. They don't have to be long. They just have to be. They have to be genuine. I'll tell you, whenever I'm stumped, I'll tell you exactly what I do. I pull out my phone and I look to see who I've spoken to in the last 24 hours. And I haven't done this yet, so I'm just going to do this right now. Brock, at 5 o'clock tonight, I have not seen this client in 3 years, and he asked me to walk through a rental property of his. And he's looking at putting it on the market. So I will send him a note saying, it was so great to catch up with you, yada, yada, yada. This somebody I haven't seen for 2 years happened to call me out of the blue for a referral. Just here's 2 agents with our company, because I'm wearing 2 hats, that I spoke to back today, that both had really serious problems they're dealing with. And both of them have since fix their problem. So right there, just in just a matter of a minute, I have 4 notes I could write. 4 notes that are impactful. Typically, I look at my phone, or I'll go back in my email and I'll see who did I communicate with in the last 24 hours and where was that emotion. If you write a note just checking in with them, just saying hello, you, like you said, Hannah, you don't even have to be a realtor. It just permeates. It just permeates. The amount of personal notes I have that really mean something to me are huge. It's huge. So who else? I mean, personal notes, this goes beyond to how long you've been in the business. Who else has got good experience with personal notes or any good stories with them? Yes, Alicia.
I've just always enjoyed writing notes. Like I always write thank yous. I like writing, like I love sending cards, anything like that. My grandma taught me when I was a kid to do it, and I've always enjoyed doing it. So I actually really look forward to that part.
I believe it. Have you started doing it because you're brand new in the business? Have you done this to a client yet?
No, I did do a showing tonight, but other than that, I mean, I haven't even ordered business cards yet. I'm just like trying to like get into everything and trying to find how I kind of want everything to look and logging into all of the different databases. So
Yeah, you're
just
overwhelmed. Yeah.
trying to navigate all of the new things and try not to forget something.
I get it. I get it. Well, I will say personal notes, they really are impactful. You can never write too many. Your clients can never get too many. There have been times where I'm right in the middle of a personal note and I'm sitting here and no, here's one. Here in our room, Tracy Faust, I wrote you a anniversary note. And then about 3 days later, I wrote you a birthday note and I thought, oh my God, this is redundant. I'm like, she's not going to care. She's going to get 2 notes from me. You know, I mean, you can never overdo it. What are you going to say?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, yes, absolutely. That was true. And I mean, it doesn't matter if it's within, 48 hours or a month or whatever. I mean, it's just better to not have a bill in the mail.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And not every note is a keeper. Sometimes they're like, oh, wasn't that nice? Honestly, the majority of them, oh, wasn't that nice? And you throw them away. But 1 in 10 or 1 in 5, maybe, or, a lot less than that are going to be, some of them hit your heart and you just want to keep them. Personal notes go a long way. They're easy to do. They are very powerful, and you have a plethora of people you can write them to. I think some of the most impactful ones, if I have now this is a different market. Well, no, just flip the client. I was going to say, if I'm trying to sell a listing and it's sitting and sitting and sitting, about 3 weeks in, I can send a note to the seller. Hey, I know this isn't working so well, or I'm here for you. But at the same time, you do that with the buyer. If you're, frustrated, they just lost their 3rd house because they can't get the offer accepted. Follow up with a note. I'm thinking of you. This is, I know this is tough. They really do appreciate it. So the next one beyond personal notes is building on the face-to-face and client parties and going to breakfast and lunch with your clients. That was a big one for me. I had a real hard time doing that. A little bit of phobia. I never wanted to eat lunch or eat with a client. That just, for some reason, that freaked me out. And then I finally got past that. And now every single one of my lunches every day is either with an agent or a client. And it's been transformational. The clients want the one-on-one connection with you. They want a little bit more time. Does anybody have anything to chime in on face-to-face marketing, clients, that kind of thing? Breakfast, lunches, anything?
It's terrifying.
It is. It is. Hey, Tracy, have you ever taken anybody out, a client out to breakfast or coffee or anything? Cocktail?
Well, yeah, actually just on Friday I did. I actually had a client come over to my house because she wanted to get out of her house with her 3-month-old baby. And so I made a charcuterie board and had, just some seltzer and stuff. And we just sat at my house and just chit-chatted and talked and caught up a little bit. And yeah, so that was fun.
It really can be fun.
Yeah.
And you don't have to ask for referrals. it's not like you take a client out to lunch and say, hey, now can you refer me? It really can just be like everybody else's point. It can just be natural. You're here to serve, and your service just kind of permeates. So I love taking people out to breakfast and lunch now. And well, drinks are my favorite.
Margaritas.
Yeah, exactly, all day long. You know me. Has anybody else had any one-on-one FaceTime with clients yet? Like breakfast, lunches? Yeah, it's gonna happen. The next thing is client parties. He talked a little bit about client parties. Client parties, actually, I think he did. Did he talk, were client parties in this video? Okay, okay. So client parties are definitely something you gotta kind of work up to. It takes some time. The hard part to having a client party is, and the hard part for me was I never wanted to invite people just to see me. I felt very silly. So when you do client parties, there's a variety of ways to do them. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but when you're a new agent, if you're on a team, the best thing to do, you have a client party together. If you're an individual agent, trying to partner up with another agent and have a client party together, it really kind of takes the pressure off. So when the Good Life Group was a team many, many years ago, we had client parties, and I'll tell you a little story, and it's a lot of fun, but at the same time, I thank God we don't do these anymore because they about killed me. And that was, we had client parties that were an event. We had, the first one was a Hawaiian luau. We had our entertainment was we had somebody come in, Laura, Carol's wife, and cooked and buried a pig in the yard and cooked the pig. We had a full luau. We had all sorts of entertainment, and we gave away 2 trips to Hawaii. And it was, what we did is we gave, one was a random drawing to any of the people that bought, sold, or referred us in the last year. And the other one was to the person that referred us the most in the last year. There's some legalities around this now. The rules and laws have changed. So if you ever wanted to do a client party, I would have to privately consult with you on how to do this. But it was incredible. We invited our A pluses and A's and B's, and the people that bought and sold from us. We had a really good attendance, and it was an amazing party. The next year, we decided to do Mexico. We had a mariachi band. We gave away 2 trips to the Bahamas, and it was an incredible event. Again, all the people that had bought, sold, or referred to us. Briefly, the third year was Las Vegas, and we did a whole Las Vegas, what am I trying to say, casino night. And the fun one was we did Paris. And we couldn't find a location for Paris. We were like having a hell of a time finding a right location. And then we decided to have it at the Max, and which is a gay bar. And our entertainment was a drag show. And so we called it Gay Paris, and we gave away 3 trips to Paris that year. And because our team, they started to become so competitive that the people, what happened one year is the couple that was referring Kelly Mikalunas, who's one of our agents now, she's been with us forever, they were referring her like crazy. Their best friends were also referring her, and they were competing to win the trip. So, and they both collectively had referred Kelly about like 25 or 26 clients that year. So what we did is we invited them to the party, and then we sent all 4 of them to Paris. And then we did Disneyland, and that's when that's when we ratcheted up and up, and we brought in the kids. So we had all these character actors. We got a hold of the Playhouse, so we had like a Cinderella, Prince Charming, Beauty and the Beast, and they were walking around the whole place entertaining the kids and giving away toys. And it just kept going on and on and on. New York was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. The entertainment was me. I sang a song. And we just used to give away so much, and it was a lot of fun. But at the end, our parties got to be 400 and 500 people. and we got way bigger than we wanted to do. So I say that all for fun because it was a lot of fun. I would absolutely go back to client parties again now. I just haven't, and I will after COVID. Client parties, they can be small, they can be intimate. I know of people that do client parties as small as 10 people, where they'll invite 5 of their closest couple clients. They'll take them out to a sushi restaurant, and then they all mingle. Or you go to a place, as an example, you go to a place in Blackstone. There's a Butterfish. They have sushi teaching classes. What? Maybe this was before COVID. I'm sure they're bringing them back, where you can pay for up to 4 couples that can all learn how to roll sushi together. So you're talking what, $200 or more, and you end up entertaining 3 of your closest client couples, and you have dinner together. That bond gets so much better, and it's really not that expensive. So client parties don't have to be really, really big. They can be small. They can be intimate. Have any of you done any type of a client event or been part of a client event? That's a better question for you.
Like with real estate or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Who's talking?
And
okay, there we are. Okay.
My normal job that I've had for like the last 30 years has been banking. So being a banker, we do a lot of client events. And back in the day, a lot of my job was VP of marketing. So I was in charge of, putting all those events together. And so it's kind of.
What kind of events did you do? Like what kind of scale of events did you do? Like how big, how many people?
I mean, with the bank, a couple hundred. I also did a lot of nonprofit events. Our bank, that was our niche. So like I chaired the American Heart Association Heart Ball one year myself as an individual. We had almost 1,000 people at that event. So, I've done a lot of event planning, and then I've done real small ones, at the bank too, like the lunch and learns, or gone to companies and taken stuff to companies and so forth. So I've done a lot of the variety.
There really is a variety. I will say that the more intimate the party, often tends to be the most impactful.
Oh, I think so, definitely. Yeah.
I think the last time that I had a client party is in 2016 when we became Better Homes and Gardens, the Good Life Group. We were no longer a team. We became a company. We rented out the zoo. And I'm sorry, I said we didn't rent out the zoo. We had a party at the zoo, and we invited all of our clients. I think we were probably 35, 40 agents maybe at the time. We had 1,000 people come, and it was a big event, and it was great. It was a huge hit, but it was then I'm like, I just can't do parties of this size anymore. They're just logistically too hard. But the small intimate parties, 10, 20 people, very impactful. You can put your arms around it. You can visit with the clients. The nice thing is if you do a client party right, you absolutely will walk away with at least 1 to 2 referrals, and they always pay for themselves. Absolutely, always pay for themselves. And if you do the larger ones, you can often get maybe a vendor to help you cover it. Your lender, home inspector, somebody of those. When we were doing those client parties that I just described a little bit ago, as you can imagine, the budget for those was anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000. We didn't just pay for that out of our pocket. We had vendors, we had partners, we had them actively chiming in. I will tell you this, because this was impressive. On our very first client party, the Hawaiian Luau, and we ended up doing like 10 of these. We were using a title company, and we had invited them to the party, and they said this. They walked up to me afterwards, and they said, "This is so good. We are in for $10,000 next year." And so for the next 10 years, they just wrote me a check for $10,000 because and all I did, we just showed them that we were serious. And that they were, and they, they got their money back tenfold because we were really cranking out the business. So anyway, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves when we talk about client parties. I mean, here we are, we're starting off with how do I even define my database at this point between A+, A's, B's, and C's, and then we're going on to $20,000 client parties. I'm aware we just jumped, but that is the end goal. And not the $20,000 party, but just parties. Yeah, Dana, what's up?
My husband and I, we have an annual party every year over the 4th of July at our house. And it has gotten relatively large over the years. How do you turn something like that into a client party? Like, what makes it a client party? Do you have to sit around and have conversations about real estate, or what is it that
Well,
turns it into
I
that?
will admit the IRS auditor is not there, so they're not telling you what you did not do. Yeah, I will.
More than that, just to make it successful, I guess. I mean, what kinds of things would be included to make it a successful thing?
That's a tough dynamic because you're talking about taking your existing parties and starting to weave in becoming a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So I think
Yes.
it's more a matter of how you do that. So these are mostly your friends and neighbors, I take it?
Yeah.
It's your
It's a lot of
it's your
it's a lot of people. It's friends,
Yeah.
family, it's coworkers. It's a lot of people.
I think, how many people are you talking? 200 maybe?
Probably, yeah. It's a big thing.
Here's my opinion, is that you basically just described your database is already coming to your house in the form of a party. I would, one, make sure that every person that you just described that's coming invited to that party is in your database, and that they know you're a realtor and you're marketing them to them in a different way. I don't think you have to turn that personal party into a client party if they already know that you're their realtor. It can
Okay.
be implied. If you
Okay.
don't want to turn this big party you guys do already into a realtor event, you just continue to do what you're doing and make sure that every person that comes in that door or is on that list that you want to be is in your database, and they hear from you on a regular basis. And the next year, when they show up at that party, you're going to not just be Dana Poole, you're going to be Dana Poole, that realtor that stayed in touch with them the last year.
Okay.
You're going to earn business. Yeah, Tracy.
I just have a thought. Maybe it might be a good suggestion. Maybe at I don't know if you give like little goodie bags at the end of the party or anything, but you could even do something like that and say, like, on behalf of Better Homes and Gardens and myself. And then that way you're not really, like putting it in their face all the time throughout this whole party. That's always been like your personal family get together party with friends. But it's at the end, it's like, oh, here's just a little something that, I just wanted to show my appreciation and grow, don't even say grow my business, but my appreciation, and just have something on there that has Better Homes. If it's not your card, then even just a little tag that something about 4th of July and Better Homes.
I
don't know,
think
just
it's a
a thought.
fabulous idea. I think it is a fabulous idea. The only thing I will say, Tracy, you started to correct yourself. I would say, she says, I'm growing my business. This is what I'm doing now. And I think that's a fabulous idea. Just a little pop-by trinket takeaway. And I think you be transparent. I'm growing my business. These are people that like you and trust you, at least you hope so, and that you want them to refer you. And if not, they'll go away. But you need to be bold. They like me. They trust me. They're going to refer me. I'm going to give them this little pop-by as this little giveaway. I think it's a fabulous idea. Fabulous. So, well, we're already out of time. Here, I was saying I had nothing to talk about, and it's 8 o'clock, and here we're already almost done. So does anybody have anything they want to talk about or say, or any questions about anything we discussed today? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Lindsay, you haven't spoken yet. How are you? I see you up in the corner. How are you? How are you?
No, I don't know. I took a lot of notes while I was watching the videos. And I worked with Katie on getting a flyer to mail out to my neighborhood. So I just didn't send it yet because I had just gotten the box and saw the flyers in there. So it's kind of debating on which one, but yeah, she helped me get all that set up, and she's like the pop-by queen. So
She is the Popeye queen. I don't mean to run over, but can you give an example of the kind of Popeyes you've seen her do that you think are so?
Oh my gosh. She's done, like, for Mother's Day, she did I think bath bombs or something. And she sent them to every house in her neighbor. She had like over 300 that she put out. And I don't know, she did Mayday baskets to her. She did Mayday baskets to her whole neighborhood.
I got one of
They
those.
had
for
like
my-
candy and yeah.
I live in her neighborhood.
Yeah, like
Cute.
it's insane what she puts into them. And I remember being on the receiving end, and that's one of the reasons that I joined this company too, is because I thought that was really nice to build relationships instead of just cold calling and, you know, trying to get strangers to come to me. I want to build relationships and not be a sales person.
All day long. I would much
Yep.
rather spend $300 popping by my neighborhood than $300 on a magazine ad or this square in the World Herald that isn't going to get me anything.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. Okay, well, I think we can wrap it up, everybody. Thanks for letting me bullshit my way through this, which is exactly what I just did. You are all doing so good. You've all been chiming in. You've all been watching the videos. Having this evening class has been a little unusual, but I've enjoyed it. Next week, as you'll notice, like the first week, I think you had 3 or 4 videos you had to watch, and this week you had 3. It does go down to just 1. And it might even just be next week. So there isn't as much content. And Anne, I think you had emailed me about missing a video or something. I think the next video is 7, 8, 9. I don't know.
I didn't get any of them watched at all because I didn't get the information until about an hour before
Right.
the class started. So I just figure in the next day or 2, I'll just watch all the first ones, all the ones for tonight, and be on top of it for next Monday.
And it's all good. It's all, the reality is that the bulk of the class is in those videos. And then this is all just chiming in and discussing it and then pulling the content we can out. So
Okay.
anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, well,
I actually watched them and then I got notified that I didn't and that they were going to disappear. I'm not sure what that was,
I got
but
something
I
like,
watched.
yeah, I got something like that today too.
I'm getting
saying
that too.
Okay. I thought maybe there were more that I missed out on that I wasn't seeing, and I'm like, uh-oh, what'd I do wrong? But
I'll figure it out.
okay.
Well, and do we have more, like, is anybody getting them before today or the day of? I'm just getting mine the day
did.
of.
I've been getting
I
them.
got mine earlier.
I think I get mine on Sundays,
Oh, okay.
but it tells me, it says, oh, we're sorry we missed you. We hope you catch up. Like I've missed
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
I haven't missed anything.
So we won't get next Mondays until Sunday.
I'll
That's
figure
when
it
Can
out.
you work on that? Can you work on that, Tim?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I will say if you go to our YouTube page, which is thegoodlifegrowroom.com, I illegally have some of these videos in there. I think I have up to like 7 or 8. I was basically copying them and then putting them in our YouTube channel so that people can catch up on them, because I don't understand the Buffini system. I don't understand how they turn on, they turn off, you can't watch them. Everything you just described, I don't get. So, okay, I'll work on helping fix that. So, okay, I'm on it. Okay, it's 8:05. I promised we wouldn't run over. Sorry. Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Thanks.
night. Talk to you
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.